Hello. So today I'm just gonna be making a build video. I'm mostly a PvP player, so my name's Zest. I play on my Trickster Rogue. I don't really do anything else. So today I'm just gonna give you my mod 15 Trickster Rogue PvP build, and yeah, it's pretty simple. Nothing really complicated. Most of the time I just spam shit and get away with a lot of stuff. So here is my build. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So starting off, we're gonna get into artifacts later a bit. You know, rings and all that come later. We're gonna talk about gear later. So first, we're gonna talk about basically our attribute points. What we start off with, what we roll with. Primarily, what you want to roll with, your highest, is strength. You want all of the damage bonus percentage, basically. As a Trickster Rogue, you want to be able to smoke and destroy your opponents. Your second ability should not be dexterity. You will never focus on dexterity as a PvP Trickster Rogue. I don't care what anybody tells you. No. No, 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 no. What's better is your charisma. Charisma basically gives you your deflect chance, just like what Dex gives you. It also gives you combat advantage damage, which basically you get combat advantage when you're in stealth, when you have people dazed, etc. Anything that basically gives you combat advantages, like being behind your opponents, being able to basically confuse in any sort of way. Dex is just a naysay, okay? The race that you would want to go for, it's all depending on you. I literally switch between any race, but there's always the best races that you can pick. Those top three to me are obviously Metallic Dragonborn or just regular Dragonborn. They get the same thing except about 2 features. There's one feature difference, which is basically, I think this one's completely different than what the regular Dragonborn gives you. I think the regular Dragonborn just gives you 6% more hit points, and then this one just gives you 3% more healing from all its spell abilities and 3% hit points, something like that. And then the second race you would want to go for is a halfling for the deflection chance, and basically a higher resistance to, I forgot what else, something else. And then the third race, human, just for the extra 3 feet points. I mean, that's really about it. You probably want to put them into improves cunning, sneak, if you're going for a stealthy build, or basically more action advantage, or basically whatever you feel like, to be honest. It's all up to you, right? Next is our feats. So basically, I start toughness. Obviously, maximum hit points. Hit points plays a big contribution into PvP. Period. Action advantage, you gain 8% additional action points for dealing combat advantage damage. Obviously, when I'm in stealth and I'm hitting opponents with a dazing strike right after leaving stealth, I do more. I get more hit action points back. Cunning ambusher, as soon as I leave stealth, I deal 6% more damage. That just obviously tells you right there what it does. So I don't really have to explain this to you. Lucky skirmisher, increases deflection chance. I don't even know why the fuck I have this. I could have put it in Twilight Depth, but that's pointless anyways, because even if you roll and you try to get your little stealth back, if somebody is beating the shit out of you, you're not getting your stealth back. Unless you have one that feat that reduces your stealth, and reduces the amount of stealth you lose by the damage you take, basically. And then 3 out of 3 endless assault, 6% more damage with your encounter powers. Who doesn't want more damage, right? Right. Disciple of Strength, 6% bonus damage that strength gives you, even better. And then 2 out of 3 and this, which I could obviously move this into this, which I don't know why I didn't, but yeah, so replace this probably, because we really don't need stealth time with scoundrel training, unless you're playing like a little bee and you're trying to run away from your opponents every time you're low health and you're scared to die, which for some reason a lot of people do. Like, they're really scared to die for some odd reason. Alright, to my scoundrel path. This is literally the only build I use for PvP. I don't use anything else. I will show you my standing in a bit. So, blood brawler, 2.5% lifesteal, roll with the punches, 2.5% deflection, press the advantage, positive catch. Now increase your combat advantage by 10%. So say if you got somebody in your Courage Breaker, which gives you combat advantage because you have your feat points that proc that, your passives, which basically gives you 10% more damage with impossible to catch on. Next, Master and Fighter. Deflecting attack causes the attacker to become unbalanced. You deal 10% more damage and take 10% less damage. Tanky and more damage. See? Best. Concussive strikes, your critical strikes and attacks from behind daze foes for 2 seconds. Foes can only be dazed once every 5 seconds. So keep this in mind that the scoundrel build is really annoying for other players. They like people really like low geared or even high geared people really get mad at me because I just stun them to death, so they can't do shit while I'm just beating on them. Savage blows, dealing damage to foes, increase your damage by 1% for 3 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times and grants an additional 5% damage when at maximum stacks. So I'm guessing this is 10% plus another 5%, which is 15% more damage. I never really read this feat. I didn't even know it was this good. But yeah, there you go. That's probably why I chose it, to be honest. Low blows, you deal 20% more damage to foes who are affected by a control effect. So like people who are, say if you're playing with a group of control wizards or basically scourge warlocks, you know, control wizards using entangling force, or warlocks using, I forgot what it's called, the choke. You know what I'm talking about, where they lift them in the air and it looks like they're choking to death. Doing a mocking gesture every second, your deflection chance increased by 5%, stacking up to 20 times. Deflect attack resets its bonus. This is basically like a Shadowclad, but better because it deals damage back to the target, which is hysterical because I've had like low gear people just attack me and I will sit there and they'll literally kill themselves because they think that they're damaging me. It's so hysterical. And then Skullcracker, every 15 seconds you gain Still Grab, which causes your next at will or encounter power to daze enemies for 3 seconds. Apply a mark to them for 10 seconds. The duration of this mark is increased by 0.5 seconds. Each time you deal damage up to a maximum of 5 bonus seconds. While marked, enemies take 25% more damage from your attacks, and your powers deal 20 power to damage them as if they were controlled. Voila. This is my feats. Boons. I use Armor Pen boon. Armor Pen, I don't know, it's crucial to me. You need Armor Pen in PvP, especially when you're going against armor plated people like paladins, great weapon fighters, guardian fighters, and that's really it, right? Am I correct? Yep, that's really it, to be honest, I think. You would only use power ever with low AC armor class players like Scourge Warlocks, Trickster Rogues, Hunter Rangers, you know. But Hunter Rangers aren't, you know, real good Hunter Rangers in PvP aren't squishy whatsoever. PvP campaign, I've finally finished all these boons. I still need to finish Gauntlet Grim. This is literally the hardest thing to get into, so I literally, every time my alliance is running GG, I will literally try to get into the group, and I'll sit there with them for an hour just to get into a queue, which never occurs. So fuck this game, because it's dead PvP for no reason whatsoever. PvP is so fun. I started PvPing 3 weeks ago, or about a month ago now, and I've had a fantastic time. Supply line, you gain 500 boon while flagged for PvP. Honestly, at this point in time, I honestly don't want this. I would change this for more power, literally for no, just for more power, no reason whatsoever. Vanguard Resolve, players who strike you grant you 400 power. Each foe can only add 400 at a time. So if you're going against 2 people, you'll get 800 power, 3 people 1600 power, 4 people 2000 power, 5 people 2400 power. Simple mathematics, it's maths. Wicked Assault, you gain 400 lifesteal for each enemy player within 20 feet of you. Max player is 5, so basically again 2400 more power. Icendale boon and Domination boon literally doesn't matter. It just gives you basically ice and glory for killing a player. That's it. I don't do AI. I wasn't playing when this released, and even till now, I just got the first boon because I don't do AI. I'm telling you, I don't do AI. Shine Dart, power, deflect, action points, Elven Tranquility, 20k hit points, and then Fate Thistle, deflect 3000 back to your attacker. This is actually reduced depending on who you're going against. If it's the correct player, it will not do 3000. This will literally not do 3000 to a high-end PvP player. It will probably do way less. Dread Ring, 250 power, 400 lifesteal, obviously 3% deflection chance. Some people can go for this, but this literally doesn't matter, especially if you're running the PvP boon. I mean, not PvP boon, sorry, the Stronghold boon for 8k armor pen. So 3% deflection chance, obviously. Enraged growth, 20k hit points, obviously, over time, and then gives you 4k defense for 10 seconds. Augmented Than, Bastion. I honestly would probably choose this or Endless Consumption, especially if you're running a high lifesteal build. I would definitely use Endless Consumption instead of Augmented Than, Boost, Bastion, whatever it's called. I only use this because I'm a dickhead and I like to tank for no reason without any lifesteal, and I do it pretty well. Some people get mad at me because I can tank a node against 3 people, unless they're like stun gods and I can't do shit about it. Encroaching Tactics, we're moving on to Icewind Dale. 400 combat advantage damage. Oh, a bonus, sorry. Whoa, damage. Refreshing Chill, 400 stamina gain. Rapid Thaw, 400 recovery. Recovery over 2% crit rate. Crit rate really doesn't matter in PvP because you're not supposed to be critting, unless you're a control wizard. But then control wizards use Arcane Spellstorm or whatever it's called to grant them set amount of crit over set amount of time. Cold Shoulder, when damaged by a foe, you have a chance to proc Cold Shoulder on them, which will reduce the damage of their next attacks. Obviously, when you're going against a Great Weapon Fighter, something that does really good amount of damage, you use this. Cold Resolve doesn't really matter. Actually, it probably would be good, but 2k power is only like probably 5% more damage, and then that 5% damage is reduced depending on somebody's damage resistance, AC, whatever, you know, all these factors. Avalanche, when damaged by a foe, chance to gain Avalanche at 20 stacks, taking all damage with clear, and deal up to 15k damage to nearby targets. Underdark, half the shit doesn't matter. Well, the last boon doesn't matter. So 400 power, 1600 maximum hit points, 400 lifesteal, 1600 maximum hit points. Regen, sorry, wrong thing. Regen does not matter unless you're out of combat. But most of the time, when you're done fighting people in PvP, you go grab a potion. So regen doesn't really matter unless you're getting income healing from certain players, like your paladin or something. But paladins already heal the hell out of you. Your DCs will heal the hell out of you. That doesn't really matter. You don't need regen. So obviously 10% bonus damage from combat advantage. Let's go, boys. This one I probably should have chose Dwarven Stamina, but I like to use Dwarven Footing because a lot of people like to put you in control effects. Yeah. Tyranny, you got Dragon Claws, 400 more power. Dragon Shadow, this I just chose deflect because crit doesn't matter. That's really it. 400 more armor pen and 400 lifesteal. This is kind of weird, but I chose all 3 just to have it. 4% increased lifesteal chance, 5% more crit severity, and 10% increased control strength. So if I'm putting a target into like a courage break or something, you know, yeah. Maze Engine, lifesteal severity, demon resilience, of course, more control resistance, action point gain 3%, and increased control strength. Just gonna go faster because half these boons don't really matter. Well, not half of them, but probably about 10% of them don't really matter. 300 more power, 400 regen, 400 recovery, more hit points over course of time. This tree literally doesn't mean shit besides the last boon. 2% control resistance, 400 stamina gain, 2000 bonus attack on next damage. Sorry. Max HP increased by 3200, and this Frozen Reflection, the best boon ever for PvP in my opinion. When deflect attack, you deal up to 7000 damage to your dagger. Once again, This is based off of who you're going against, so a higher player will not be taking 7,000 damage per tick. It'll probably be way less, but it's still really good. Okay, Cloak Ascendancy. Demoralize. When you kill an enemy, you have a chance to demoralize up to 5 enemies within 25 feet, stunning them for 4 seconds. Yep, obviously that makes sense. I should have chose incoming healing bonus, but I chose 2% crit severity, especially when I go invisible and I hit somebody with a shocking execution. That's majority of the reason why I went for this. And then 500 recovery, because I forgot to say this, but recovery plays a major role in PvP. You want to be able to get your encounters around, get your dailies back real quick in PvP. And then Planar Vitality. When you deflect an attack, you gain up to 8,000 hit points. This effect can only happen every 10 seconds. Patrol. 1,000 power, 1,600 hit points. 1,000 deflect, 1,600 deflect. Oh, sorry, hit points. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Choke me later. And then I use Impenetrable Jungle. Chance on being hit again is Impenetrable Jungle at 10 stacks. The next attack will release a burst rooting all nearby targets for 4 seconds. This is really annoying, especially for players who try to wail on you and then run away like a little. I hate players like that. They really annoy the hell out of me, which is why I quit PvPing. But I wanted to get this build video out. And then Castle Ravenloft. I don't do this. Period. I quit on mod 14. So yeah, 600 recovery. So what you want to do is just go for the recovery, and this right here, you would want this. Hypnotize and gaze. Companions don't really matter. Companions don't matter in PvP whatsoever. Okay, as a mount, I have 2 legendary mounts. I use them here and there, but the main mount you want to go for, period, the only legendary mount that plays a massive role in PvP is, you know, some people can make a biased opinion, and I am a biased opinionator, so I'd say the Golden Lion mount is one of the best mounts for PvP, just because of the fact that it gives you a temp shield for 10 seconds. Obviously in PvP it's way less. It's not 100% of your maximum hit points. I think it's 25%, but in PvP if you have right now, if I'm looking at my PvP, I have 250k hit points at base stat. So 25% of that is around, I don't know, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then Providence, when you or a party member are struck by a foe, there's a chance they will be healed for 10% of their maximum hit points, and you gain a stack of raiding weapon. This effect will occur once every 10 seconds. Radiant Weapon grants 2% additional damage as radiant damage for 12 seconds. And they both stack Providence and Oriole armament. So if you have the shield up and this procs bonus damage. As for the insignia bonuses, I'm stacked out, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm just kidding. Champion's Return, obviously, you know, when reduced to 50% hit points, you have to recover 20% of your stamina and are healed for 20% of your maximum hit points over 10 seconds. So basic in PvP, you want to be able to heal, especially when you're not a healer. Gladiator's Guile, I usually don't use it. I stack stuff. Where is my other one? I don't remember where I put it, but I usually stack this 2 Slayer Redemptions, but I stopped doing that because it was kind of annoying. But yeah, Gladiator Guile gives you basically 15% movement speed when your stamina is basically about 75%, and then below 25% you gain 15% of your power as stamina gain. Slayer's Redemption, after killing a foe, receive a heal over time, 10% of your maximum hit points. Survivor's Blessing, when you deflect an attack, you're healed for 3% of your maximum hit points over 4 seconds. This is actually really good. I used to stack this at least 3 times. I would get rid of Slayer's Redemption and Gladiator's Guile and stack Survivor's Blessing 3 times. That's how good it was. I mean, at 2 stacks, it would give you 3.8. I don't remember what it gave you at 3 stacks. I know at 2 stacks, it was 3.8. And I can tell you that that's what it gives you. 3.8% of your maximum points over 4 seconds at 2 stacks. And then Magistrate's Patience, this is just in case I do crit. And then obviously it heals your allies as well, so what's up? And then let's get into the gear. This is where it matters the most. So I run the Decaying Habit, which gives you 175 power over every 5 seconds when you're always fighting. So basically, let's hope to God you're not fighting for more than a minute, because the con of this piece of helmet is horrific. You lose 250 power every 5 seconds to a total loss of 3,000 power. So that power you just gained is completely gone with more power. Magic Lord Surcoat, probably the best chest piece for PvP in the game, period, point blank. You can't argue with me because it is, and it is the best, so piss off. By the way, you get this for 30,000 guild marks from the Mysterious Merchants. It is very random. You get this from I forgot his name. He's a scarecrow in Barovia. I know I have to post this, so give me 1 second. It is right here. It is Bulgara. He drops it. It's pretty easy to get, to be honest. It's not that hard. Just farm it a few times. Arms, I use Terry Grips. 3% more damage. Gang, more damage, obviously. Why else would you use it? Besides the armor pendant and power, why else would you use it? Obviously, I use as my weapons the obsidian weapons. I don't have the +1s. I really don't care about the little bit of base damage because I still wreck shop. Doesn't really matter. And here is my artifact powers. For Cloud of Steel, increases damage done by Cloud of Steel by 8%. So, you know, throwing daggers. That's all that matters. Throwing daggers, my G. Throwing daggers. Nah, but to be honest, it plays a role with my other artifact power for my offhand. Oh wait, did I get rid of it? Or it is the same art? Okay, here, the second bonus. Sorry, it slows targets by 25% for 3.8 seconds. So this with Courage Breaker would literally make enemies walk like this, and it's the most funniest thing because I'm just sitting there like this on them the whole time and just wailing on them. Back to what I was saying. Boots. I used Boots of the Will because I don't have Heals of Fury, just because you get 3% more damage with your at-wills, and it gives me armor pen. As your neck, we're going to talk about those later. Rings, I use Ring of Shadowstalker +5, obviously, and then Beater Restoration Ring for the recovery and power. The ring gives me 2.5% more damage when it's closer to a target. So if I'm right here and I'm beating on you, I'm getting that 2.5% more damage. You know, obviously that matters the most. GG. Shirt, I don't really care. I just use some random shirt and pants. I don't try to use the best thing ever, period. Alright, now to the artifact set. Let's get this going. If you want to be tanky, I run the Belt of Valhalla, Cloak Valhalla, basically Valhalla set. The only reason why is just because of the artifact bonus set. Whenever enemy attacks the bear, the enemy's damage is reduced by 3% for 6 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. That is a 15% reduction to their damage. So if you're fighting or 1v1ing somebody, they're obviously going to be consistently attacking you, and they're going to be doing 15% less damage. Now, further on with that, you would want to use the best artifact in PvP, basically, God's Anvil of Creation. Activating this artifact summons forth a swarm of doohickeys that will surround the user with the regenerating shield, absorbing up to 70% of the user's maximum hit points and damage, and dealing up to 28,548 damage to any enemies who get close for 15 seconds. This is damn near OP. It's different in PvP. It doesn't consistently give you that shield buff right there. It's actually less than what it is. It'll constantly go on and off, and proc on and off in domination. So the shield will disappear and come back, disappear and come back. So if you're gonna use it right before you die, probably a bad time to use it, because they're probably just gonna kill you as soon as the shield disappears, especially if they're consistently attacking you. Yeah, you're dead. So always just use it whenever you have it, especially when you're fighting people. But yeah, just don't use it when you're near death. And if you do, and you're probably a tank, okay, it makes sense. But if you're not a tank, it doesn't make sense. Now, to the damage part, where most people don't like me for because of the other set I run is a strength set, literally only strength. This basically gives me 31 strength because I got a max roll and my strength, which basically gives me a more percentage damage. This is at 21% right now, without the campfire bonus. So if I did get the campfire bonus, it would be at 32, which is 22% more damage. That infused with the obvious sigil of the devoted, which constantly allows me to spam my dailies. I'm basically killing you, if you want to say, especially if you're not 6 paths hollow or a godlike great weapon fighter who consistently doesn't die. Basically someone who knows how to actually sit there and fight and not run around like a little, you know. But yeah, and then with that, I replace most of my artifacts with all recovery bonuses, which allows me to get to 12.5k recovery. Oh, I'm gonna despawn my companion. Actually, it doesn't even give me recovery, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? But yeah, I'm sitting around 12.5k recovery, 14k armor pen, and 34k power. For enchantments, you would most likely run all radiance, radiance, both offensive and defensive, because most players literally nowadays only run power and hit points. So yeah, and as a TR, you don't want to actually be a tank. You want to be able to just kill people. So if I just, you know, do this, do that, and then just bam, you know, that right there would basically kill somebody, or damn near. With that, with my combat advantage bonus now, I'm probably gonna kill you, whoever you are. Unless you're like a fucking tank with 3 bajillion temp HP, or you're using the swarm, Gon's Anvil of Creation artifact, which probably saves you. But yeah, that's really it. There's nothing else to talk about. Yep, that's basically it. So thank you for watching, and bye. This is future me. I forgot to show you guys where's my standing and what my actual overview is for PvP. So here is my standing. I am on page 2. I literally quit PvP when I got my 100 wins. Obviously I don't really care about PvP like that. I just wanted to get the commander set, which is probably the favorite, best looking set of fashion items in the game to me. It's a pirate set. I'll show you that in a second. Here is my overview. Basically 2,550 kills, to 1,824 in PvP. I mean in domination. 360 deaths, 2,630 assists. How many points I captured? Obviously, you can see all this. I don't need to explain myself. Here's my Gontogram. I literally only got in 7 games. I've only been able to get 88 kills. The 3 games that I lost were literally against basically my alliance against me, because I unfortunately left the queue because I had to go somewhere, and when I came back, I joined the queue, and they were the people that I were going against. And then Icewind Dale, yeah, just don't even worry about that. Usually in Icewind Dale, we just chill out, and I just kill random people for no reason whatsoever. And my match history, here it is. Yeah, 20 kills, there it does. You know, win, lost, win. These are like most of the low kill games or whatever I tried to do are basically just because of the team matchmaking is so horrible in this game. They literally put me, the only person that's actually able to play with 4 kids who are like they come in not knowing what to do and not prepared for PvP. They'll literally have an Orcus set and with like majority of their stats into crit and power as if they're ready for PvP. They'll be missing everything defensively and everything offensively incorrect because the downskill and damage is so different, and you won't be hitting the little 500 to a mil you hit in a regular dungeon whatsoever. And yeah, it's most of my losses, most of my wins, they're not that bad. I do pretty well if I say so myself. I'm not cocky or anything. There's a reason why I quit playing. I was getting kind of too toxic, and yep. So I just stopped playing. And yeah, that's it. Future me is out.